I know this is a movie about basketball, but I really wish Uncle Drew was about the WWE superstar Drew McIntyre. Drew, released in 2018 and is directed by Charles Stone III, who's also directed such films like Drumline, Paid in Full, Mr. 3000, and Stepsisters. And this film has an all-star basketball cast of Kyrie Irving, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, Reggie Miller, Lisa Leslie, Aaron Gordon, and regular actors like Lil Rel Howery, Erica Ashe, JB Smoove, Mike Epps, Tiffany Haddish, and Nick Kroll. And the reason why we're talking about Uncle Drew today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a newer contributor and supporter of this channel, someone who I consider to be a dear friend, and he's sticking on the train of this director because he also previously recommended Mr. 3000. This is from Jeremy Pape. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for the recommendation. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Jeremy and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out just like I did with Jeremy Pape here. Dax Winslow is a low-life basketball coach who has spent his entire life savings in entering his team into the basketball tournament called the Rucker Classic. But his team, including his star player, have jumped ship to the rival basketball coach who is always giving Dax a hard time, Mookie. So now Dax is in desperate need of finding new players for his team, so he calls upon local basketball legend Uncle Dre, one of the greatest basketball players on the planet, but he's never played for any major league because he just wants to play basketball for the love of the game. He rounds up his old crew of geriatric homies to enter the tournament and to show all these young people who's boss. And I really mean it. Whenever I hear the title of this name or the title of this character, Uncle Drew, I always go into the Scottish accent because I always think of Drew McIntyre in WWE. And I'm not going to stop doing it because I just can't. So whenever I say Uncle Drew in this review, it is going to be with that Scottish accent. I don't think I've ever heard of this movie before. Maybe I saw previews for it and I didn't think anything of it because I thought it was a parody of something. But to my shock and surprise, this is actually a very lovable basketball film that has a great underdog story to it. We get the backstory of Dax, who when he was a little kid, he was taking a shot during a pee-wee basketball game, and Nick Kroll's character comes out and swats the ball out of his hand and everyone laughs at him. And because of that one instance when he was a kid, the love that he had for basketball just went away because he was just so embarrassed of that one moment, and it's always faced him going forward. And that's heartbreaking because I know that's something that actually does happen. It's happened to you, it's happened to me, it's happened to everyone, where something happens to us in our childhood that we get embarrassed about or we get angry about, or something just small and minuscule like that that has no bearing on anything with like how the world turns or anything, but into our little world, that one little moment affected us on an emotional level so hard. So I like seeing that it's followed him for the rest of his life. He's never played basketball since, but he still loves this game and he loves this sport. That's why he's this coach. And Lil Rel Howery is an amazing comedian. He is so hilarious in everything that I've seen him in, and he's hilarious here. Even though he has moments that he wants to be the straight man, or he's supposed to be the straight man, he's still funny as all hell. He's one of my favorite comedic actors working today. But I think he's great in here because he is able to balance the comedy side of things with the real-life dramatic emotional scenes that his character goes through. But someone who is always funny in everything that she does is Tiffany Haddish. She plays Dax's girlfriend, who's definitely money hungry and is only with Dax because he could potentially win. He has star players on his team. When he loses those star players, she just casts him out, and she's going on to the next big thing, which is Nick Kroll for some reason. Nick Kroll is also fantastic, but Tiffany Haddish is so incredible with her improv skills and the way she's just able to keep going and riffing in a scene. I don't want the scene to end because I just want her to keep dishing out all these insults and improvised comedic lines. They're just coming out of nowhere. She's so freaking amazing. And it's smart, loading up this film with a bunch of smart and intelligent comedians and actors to surround themselves with a bunch of basketball players. Kyrie Irving, of course, playing Uncle Drew, not the Scottish version, but, you know, the Drew character of this film. I can't help but do it. He's definitely a professional on the court, but when it comes to the acting ability, and really with all the other basketball players turned actors, they're doing their best. And I think the director and the other actors know that, so they come in and they help out a lot to drive scenes and to help people hit their marks, or to try to get these characters to have emotional arcs in the movie, which I feel like it wanted to at some points, but because the scenes were between two professional basketball players and not two professional actors, the scene kind of fell flat. There are a couple of scenes in here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kyrie Irving who are talking about a previous woman that they both have affection for, and they've held this grudge over each other for so long, and you felt like, I want something to be rekindled here, or to show respect between each other, and nothing. Maybe I'm a jerk for saying it, but that's what happens when you hire professional athletes instead of professional actors to have those emotional scenes. It's a lot harder to get those performative emotions out of someone who has not trained their entire life. That being said, though, the prosthetic makeup in here I think is actually pretty good. At least in the face. I don't think when it comes down to the neck or the arms or the hands, there was a lot paid attention to there. It was really just here in the face. And then you look down like, oh no, you're a basketball player. You're fine. They're jumping around. They're dunking on each other. They play up the comedic bits sometimes, like, oh, my hip or my knees are rough. But then all of a sudden they're just jumping up and they're making slam dunks. It's a parody that you kind of have to turn your brain off when it gets to those scenes and just enjoy the film. Which when it does get to those scenes, the basketball games, I actually like the storytelling device of actually just playing the game out. I think the stereotypical story beat in a sports film like this is that the villain group or the villain team dominates for the first half and then the underdog comes back in the second half to win it. Here, though, it's evenly split throughout the entire final game that we get, and I enjoy that. Something that I don't recall ever seeing in a movie. This team goes on a 6-0 run, and then this team gets 6 points back to them, and then they're all tied up. I enjoy it. That was nice and refreshing from a sports film. Uncle Drew is definitely not the most innovative parody or comedy sports film out there, but I still really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it more than Mr. 3000, which is another film that this director directed, and one I recently reviewed on this channel because of Jeremy Pape. Again, thank you very much. But again, I don't think it's revolutionary, but it is a fun time just watching these two basketball teams play some basketball, which is all I want from a sports film. Like, let's just watch some sports. Do I really need a movie for that? No, I could just watch sports on my own, but gosh, it's nice when they coincide smoothly like this. I'm gonna give Uncle Drew 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
So guys, if you've seen Uncle Drew, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.